Hi guys, how you doing? I've put another little video together of all the competitors that we've had, 13 in total, which is absolutely brilliant. We wasn't sure how many we would get entered being in the summer holiday and it's sort of out of modelling season, but to have 13 of you is absolutely fantastic. So I've put a little video together, as I always do. Special thanks to Craig, who put the brief together on this. Farm buildings, outbuildings, farmyards, livestock. Gave you a bit of a free rein on this one just to see what you guys could do, and you really haven't disappointed. It was really difficult to judge. First one we're going to talk about is James Millen, and I really liked this diorama, in particular the scene where you've got the sheep coming out of the back of the lorry. You've got the speed restriction sign there. You've got tractors on there detailed with the mud and their weather. There's a pond on there, swans or ducks on there. All the details leaning up against the barns. You know, the little ladders, the vines going up there. The grass is spot on. We're going to swing over and have a look at that, and then you can decide how good it is, because I just think it's brilliant. And then we'll move on to the next one. So what do you think to that? Absolutely love that one. I particularly love this one, especially by who it's been made by. Josie Griffith, only young, put a lot of effort into this. Used the WWS barn, which is really good to see. The Dutch barn with the curved metal roof that you get with it. She's scratch built a lean-to made out of, I think they were coffee stirrers. So it's got a timber lean-to on it. It's a really nice addition to a kit that's already really good. Got the livestock on there, the grass on there. I think this is her first diorama with the microstatic applicator, which is great to see. The grass on there is great. A lot of work has gone onto this, loads of little details. The paintwork of the barn's really good on the inside, the red oxide. I know I've been talking to her old man, Phil, about the colours of red oxide when I was doing the barn I did on my channel a few weeks ago now. So another solid entry. Thanks for entering, Josie. Keep up the good work. So again, look at all the work that's gone into that. Well done. So next, Andy Bernbach, or also known as Dartside Scenics. He was Southam's Model Railway, I think, before that. I'm sure he'll correct me if I was wrong. So his diorama again is just absolutely amazing. You can see why he won the last competition. So he's currently the champion. So this is just as good as the last one, really. The barn that he scratch built on there is fantastic. Using all the individual little stones to do the cladding on the side is just excellent work. The weathering of the roof, the photography on it is bang on again. The little tyre that it's made a swing out of, out the trees. The hedgerows, there's got one shot where you're looking through the hedgerows and you can see that they're sort of like not completely opaque, and that looks spot on. The bluebells on it, the colouring, just the whole diorama, I really don't know what else I can say about it. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's almost a picture. It is a picture. It is really that good. So well done for that one, Andy. We'll have a quick look at that one and then we'll move on to the next one. So next up is Tim Dallahay. This is a really pleasing little diorama. It's very vibrant, lots of colours on it, loads of flowers. The flowers are really delicate and there's lots of different colours, and you can see that it's right in the middle of the summer. The flowers are absolutely spot on. That's really top scenic. The weathering of the farmhouse and the outbuildings again is spot on. All the junk and all the busyness in the farmyard just looks exactly how you'd expect farmyard to look. They don't look too clean, you know, they're not clinical, they've got junk everywhere, and he's added so many little details to it. The grass looks good, he's got a load of trees that possibly might be an orchard, I'm not sure. That looks really good as well. The road is good, and we all know that roads are really tricky to come by. I tend to just do lanes and not really do tarmac because I'm not quite sure how to get it bang on. But Tim has got the tarmac bang on this, so well done for that, mate, as well. So next up we've got Owen and his diorama that's on his layout, it's part of his layout. Really like this for quite a few things, particularly the Spitfire that's been taken apart, that's leaning up the wall. It's got the D-Day markings on it, which suggests it's a later Spitfire. Really like the fact it's got the D-Day stripes on it and it's just sort of leant up a wall. And then next to it, which is even better, is the German elephant tank, which is sort of half under the tarp. You just sort of like want to get into there and peel the rest of the tarp back to have a look at the rest of it. You really just want to go in and get stuck in on that. He's got the LMS logos on there. That's a big thumbs up for me, mate. I can see that you've probably used your electronic cigarette and blown on there and took a picture, so you've got a bit of smoke coming out one of the cylinders on, might be a Jubilee or a Patriot. That is spot on as well. And the tree that you've done, the silver birch, you can see you've put markings on the trunk. You've painted it white and you've put markings on the trunk. Don't see silver birches very often, so it's nice to see those models. So that was mega points for that as well. All in all, that's a cracking corner of your layout, mate. Well done. So next up, we've got John Simpson and his farmyard diorama. I consider John as like the original master of farmyard dioramas. He's done quite a few in the past, and this one has not disappointed either. The amount of detail on there is phenomenal. We'll just have to look at it. I don't really know where to start. The realism on it is fantastic. What I particularly like is there's one picture that you'll see, and it's the edge of the stone wall, and it's got the tiny little green and yellow growths on there. I don't know what they are, but you definitely see them. And that the detail of that, it's a photograph. It's really, really good. So impressive, that, John. Well done. Let's go and have a look at it, and you'll just be stunned by the amount of detail that's in this one. So next up, we've got Tom Whittington, and he's farmyard diorama. He's added one of the WWS barns on it, the half open sided one, which is nice to see. Really good paint job on that. It's coloured as it should be, as I see it. Really weathered, looks quite tired. You've added the railway line in there, which is nice to see because we've asked for a farmyard diorama, but you've managed to slip a bit of railway model into there. So that's really great to see. The grass is good, the hedge is good, the trees look good as well. Nice to see that you've got the sheep on there. I think that's probably the most common livestock that we see, and they always look great on a layout. I think any layout or diorama, if it hasn't got sheep, it's missing something. So again, another spot on job. The roads are good on that one as too, mate. Well done. So next up we have Andy McGraw, and Andy, you have excelled with this diorama. I was absolutely stunned when I first saw this. The photography that you've used has enhanced it almost to perfection. The grass and the tones just blend straight in to the Peak District. Naturally, I've got, there's a special part of me that likes the Peak District and like this, and you've just absolutely nailed it. It just reminds me when I visited the Peak District. The colour of the stone on the farmyard, on the farm building, is absolutely bang on. All the details you've got on there, particularly like the telephone wire that's just sort of hanging down off the farm, the guy that's got his braces on, just all the vehicles on there, like I say, the colour, what has done it for me is the colour of the grass blending in to the Peak District. It's just absolute phenomenal entry. Like I said, you totally excelled yourself. I was really surprised when I saw that. Really took me back. Excellent job. Don't know what more I can say about that one. Let's just go and have a look at it and be wowed. So next up is Kiko Cox, and I think we were all shocked by this one and how much detail there is on it. I think this might have ended up being your first post on the group, so we were all absolutely stunned by the amount of detail that you've got on this farmyard. All the tractors and all the weathering. I think they're Massey Ferguson's. I'm sure Phil Griffith will put me right if they're not. But the weathering on them looks fantastic. Where they're all lined up. The combine looks bang on. All the detail you've got inside the barn is just phenomenal. And particularly like all the old oil signs that you've got in a line above the tractors. They look bang on. But I think the star of the show for that diorama for me is the concrete that you've done. You've got the cracks in it, and the tones and the colours are just absolutely spot on for concrete. The whole diorama is just absolutely fantastic. We really appreciate you showing us your work and entering this competition. I was really stunned and taken back again by this one. It was so difficult to judge, guys. I cannot tell you the level that you were all doing. They were just getting better and better and better, and they were all as good as each other in some respect. We had a really tough job doing this. But yeah, the concrete on that, for me, thumbs up. So next up, we've got young Jack Carter and his diorama. Now, Jack's used some stables on this, which is nice to see, because I don't think anyone else has got stables on theirs. I might be wrong, but to see the stables as the main structures is nice to see something different. He's made a really good job of the dirt textures he's used. I'm not sure if it's real dirt or not. Jack, if you're watching, you could let us know what you've used there. That'd be really interesting to know. Tractors look good on there. The trees look well placed on there as well. All in all, a really good diorama. Nice to see some stables on there as you're outbuilding, as a change to the usual barns and stuff that we've seen from previous competitions and previous dioramas. So well done on that. Good effort, mate. So next up, we had Dreyson and his diorama, or should I say part of his layout. So he's used a corner to start his farm on here. Got the fence boundaries on there. I think he's got Metcalf buildings on there, looking at it, I guess. The livestock on there look really good as well. The farm building that's sort of away from the scenery at the minute, I assume he's going to join that together, and this farm will progress into an even bigger and better scene than it is already. Perhaps maybe he's going to put a crossing in, because you've got the main lines in, as you'll see in a minute. But we'll look forward to seeing that progress into a bigger and better farm diorama than it currently is. Well done. So next up, we have Steve Barnett and his diorama. Really, really like this one. It's really vibrant, lots of different colours popping out of it, with the ploughed field, the hay field grass on there, and then the green static grass. It's really, as you look at it, you can just see all the different colours popping out, and it's adding to sort of that detail and that further dimension that we're looking for when we're judging. The scarecrow on it, I think that probably steals the show for me. I've never seen a scarecrow model before, so that's really good to see. All the little details around the barn just adds that extra dimension. The more you look, the more you see, which is what we want from a diorama, as we all know. I particularly like the tree that you've got on there. I think it might be seafoam and then you've put static grass over it. But however you've done it, that tree just looks really good sort of in the corner of the field. So sterling effort, mate. So we've progressed to the last one, and as you all now know, this was the winner. Gary, congratulations. Really don't know where to begin with this. The amount of detail that you've done, the more you look, the more you see. Like I've said previously on some of the others, I think the fact that you've done it in N-gauge is just like, wow. The fact that you've managed to use, you know, bigger static grasses that are designed for double own, you've put it into an N-gauge diorama and it really does belong there. The paintwork on the buildings, all the tiny little details. I'm not going to talk too much about this one actually. We're just going to move on to it and just sit back and relax and look at the amount of work that's been done on this one. So that's all the entries that we've looked at now. Again, congratulations, Gary. It's just phenomenal. The fact that you've done it in N-gauge and, you know, you've used double O gauge grass, shall we say, and you've put it on an N-gauge layout and it really works, and that's just absolutely fantastic that you've been able to do that. The painting on all of them has been spot on. All the stone buildings you've done, all the weathering, all the painting, all the effort that you've all put in, we can see it and it is appreciated. We can't thank you enough for the efforts that you've all put in. The level has just gone up again. Every competition, the level just goes up and up. I absolutely love doing stone weathering and stone painting. I'm certainly going to take some inspiration from all your dioramas. On behalf of Martyn and Craig, thanks so much for entering. I'm sure there will be more competitions in the future. Who knows what you guys are going to bring to the table. You know, it's just brilliant. Lost for words. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me waffling on, and I'll speak to you all online soon. Cheers.